to this week's episode of Making the Call. We are here to break down all the action from the NFL wildcard round, preview all the action for the NFL divisional round, and there's a lot of coaching news. Mike McCarthy is out as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and in typical Jerry Jones fashion, there's already a lot of drama and rumors swirling around. So we're going to try to make sense of that and try to figure out if it even matters, if any of it even matters in regards to the Cowboys. So, but we're not just going to talk about the Cowboys. We got other coaching news. We got some Ben Johnson things that we need to talk about, get Rosie's take on it, which I should say we're joined this week by Rosie and Alex. We're going to get Rosie's thoughts on the Lions and their upcoming matchup against the Washington Commanders and just figure out, keys to victory, according to Rosie and all that fun stuff. So should be it's an all football podcast, outside of any sneak ins outside of football that we try to bring in with our one big headlines this week. But other than that, it'll be all football. Let's start with our one big headlines. Alex, how about you kick us off?
Well, I'm going to bring in a sneak in, Andrew. I am depressed as a Mavericks fan in the state of the season right now. And I actually wanted to ask you, just Mavs fan to Mavs fan, is it weird that I want to give up? Is it too early to give up? Give me hope. Give me some hope.
Yes. Don't give up. It's fine. The season's fine. They're hurt. They got Kyrie back last night
right now.
I just don't care. Like this Mavs
team. We lost Lively yesterday. He's made of glass somewhat. It's rough. The season is just sort of from hell. We can't catch a break. And it happened right after I subscribed to Mavs Plus or whatever the crap.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
They're gone.
22-18.
Yep.
They're the 6th seed in the West. So what are they now? They're 40 games into the season.
They're fringe playing, about to be in the playing discussion.
They can get hot though, right?
Yeah,
I guess it's pretty bleak right now, and I'm sad.
Okay, after 40 games last season, they were 23-18. And they're 22-18 right now.
So regular season
probably felt way better last season too, because I think they were getting hot around this time.
Well, around this time they were a month away from the trade deadline, and then they were the hottest team in basketball. So
yeah, I guess it really just depends what Luka looks like when he gets back, and if they rush it or not, which I don't think they are, because the report came out today that he's still weeks away. But they're hopeful he comes back before the trade or the All-Star break.
Let me ask you this. Outside of Oklahoma City, who in the West scares you? Is Houston doing it for you?
No. I mean, the Nuggets, just because they're the Nuggets.
Okay. But Memphis? The Clippers?
Yeah, Memphis is... I respect Ja, but... Yeah, other than that, I guess that is a good point. There aren't that many juggernaut West teams besides Oklahoma City.
And my thing is Oklahoma City, they beat them last year, and not saying that they're going to beat them again this year, but you look at the West, Minnesota is behind us in the standings. Phoenix is currently out of the playoffs. Golden State's out of the playoffs. There's no one in the West that scares me.
True.
And if you're worried about hey, they're dropping games, they're falling in the standings, it's okay, who above them in the standings are you worried about? And can you try to get ahead of them? And right now, the only team I'm worried about is Oklahoma City, and Dallas is 11.5 games back of Oklahoma City. So they're not catching them anyways. Nah. So once you remove them from the equation, it's I don't really care if they're the 2 seed or the 4 seed or the 6 seed. It's just if they can get healthy and you go roll into the playoffs spin zone. You ready for this, Alex?
Yes.
Is Luka being hurt actually a good thing? Because it is less wear and tear on him this season to where his legs are going to be fresh come April and May.
hopefully we get to find out in April or May. But yeah, that is a good point. Less mileage.
Did I talk you off the ledge a little bit?
Yeah. This was a good exercise.
Okay, good. Yeah, the Mavs are going to be just fine.
Stars are looking good too. They've won like 6 of the last 7, I think.
Remind me of the platform the Stars play on.
Victory Plus.
Oh, well, okay. So that segues into my one big headline, which is the Rangers announced at least the first step in the new TV situation, which is that they are going to have a direct-to-consumer model on Victory Plus like the Stars, although you will have to pay for it. The Stars are free. But if you live within the Rangers area, you can pay $100 for the entire season and watch all 162 games. I guess actually it'll probably be like 157 games.
How many primetime games you got?
I know they got one ESPN game, and then they probably got one like Apple game. So
still less than $1 a game.
Less than $1 a game, and this is only the first step. They're also going to do a like over the air, maybe a linear TV. Like there's going to be other options. It's going to be easier to watch the Rangers this year than it has been in almost like over 5 years, which is going to be great. And if the option that makes the most sense is I pay $100 to watch them for the whole year, then I'm happy to do that. I would prefer that they just put them on YouTube TV because we already have YouTube TV, but if they don't, that's okay. Either way, I think it's a win. I'm excited about it. I think, I'm just excited. We're done with Bally. The Mavs are done with Bally. The Stars are done with Bally. We like the entire Metroplex. We can wash our hands of just that demon organization, which is just amazing. Used to pray for times like these, but here we are. So that's my one big headline.
I'm sad that the Stars are probably going to have to. I bet that's going to be roped into the package next year of paying.
Yeah, they're going to have to make some money.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean,
it'd be cool if they stuck it out.
Trent won't agree with this because he's very like anti-baseball, which is like a new thing for him because he used to not be that way, but now I think he's that way because he knows it bugs me. I don't think the Stars have a big enough demand to charge for it and like it be worth it. I could be wrong. I know their viewership. I hope
you're right.
I know their viewership has gone up a ton, but if I'm just being honest, more people are willing to pay to watch the Rangers than they are to watch the Stars. And that's just you're in Dallas Fort Worth. You're in the South and you're comparing hockey to baseball. Like that's just the way it is.
It's hockey town.
Yeah, come on.
There's a reason why Rangers
probably
stadium is double the size as where the Stars play, and they have double the amount of games. And
give it 10 years.
Yeah, because hockey is grueling, dude. They're banging each other on the ice.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, if hockey was if hockey was more popular, then they would play in arenas bigger than 20,000.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Rangers are like 44.
What about basketball, though, then? I mean, basketball is definitely more popular than baseball, but I think they just have to play in an arena.
As a TV product. Baseball is still like you go there in person. That's the complaint about baseball is that a lot of people think watching it on TV is not as fun as going in person. But you go in person, you throw back some beers and some hot dogs and you sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game in the 7th inning. Like what's better than that?
I got to do the 9-inning challenge this year.
You should.
I will.
I'll do the 9-inning challenge, but just on Sunday, and it'll be ice cream sandwiches.
9 hot dogs and 9 beers, Rosie.
Like full, foot-long hot dogs?
No, I don't think foot-long. Just regular size hot dogs.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Rosie, your one big headline.
Well, I feel like it's been a while since I've been on, so the fantasy content has probably been lacking. I feel like the last time I was on, it was light out at 7:30. Maybe not.
It's been since November.
Not quite. Not quite.
But I just wanted to give a word of warning for everyone in their dynasty leagues.
Oh,
trade your 2025 picks now. Do it now. No one realizes who these rookies are. No one has a feel for like how high people are going to go. I do. I've been doing the research over the last like 3 weeks. This class sucks. Just being completely honest. Comparing it to last year, no one really compares.
Weren't people saying like this last year?
Deep running back
no one was saying. Okay, okay. You brought up two things.
Yes.
Last year, people were saying that the class was good. This year, the best player is Janty, obviously. He is not Bijan. Like, he's not the same player, but he's by far the best, and no one really comes close to him. But in Bijan's class, it was Bijan, Gibbs, a bunch of quarterbacks. And even last year, I think that all 5 quarterbacks that went in the first round are better than the ones that will go in the first round this year. That might be a bold statement, but
quarterbacks are bad this year.
It's bad. It's
Quinn Ewers is the number 3 prospect.
Yeah,
I think the quarterbacks are bad, but I think you're going to have some good skill position guys.
I'll break it down.
Yeah, there'll be a receiver too. Plenty of running backs in the 3rd, 4th round.
Cam Ward and Shador are probably going to go top
1,
10.
2.
Travis Hunter too. What about him?
He's probably going to play quarterback.
No, he's a better receiver than cornerback.
I don't think that's the consensus. I don't know if we'll know, but those are the 2 quarterbacks that are worth anything. And honestly, as prospects, they're not nearly as good as any of the top 5 were last year. You go to receiver, you have Tedororo McMillan, fantastic prospect. Compare him to Drake London. After that, though, Luther Burden, not super.
What about that Golden kid from Texas? I feel like people
Isaiah
love
Bond.
him. No, not Isaiah Bond. Matthew Golden, the other receiver.
He's not proven enough. I haven't heard enough about him. But
I like Bond though.
There's going to be like a couple like. I think this is a great year to have a bunch of 2nd round picks because, as Alex was saying, there's a ton of running backs. None of them are like super special, like Bijan Gibbs year, but much better than last year. Janty, Scatabo, Nick Singleton. Gosh, why am I forgetting all of them
now? Travion Henderson.
Yeah, Travion Judkins,
Ollie Gordon,
Caleb Johnson, Omari.
Well, I've got 3 firsts in the 8-8 league because my team.
There's that tight end from
very good.
Penn State too.
Yeah, Tyler Warren and Colson Loveland. None of them are like super great. Like, let's look up the rookies from last year.
Well, but
Brock Bowers is a god. So glad I got him.
Marvin Harrison Jr. had a great rookie year.
Yeah, and not as advertised though.
No, I was joking.
Yeah, that was a joke.
It wasn't. Roma Dunze, solid.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Are you pulling it up?
Yeah. Pull up this year. Gosh dang it.
Here, I got it. You got to be quicker than that. Yeah, Marvin Harrison. Okay, Malik Neighbors. I'm skipping over the quarterbacks because we know the quarterbacks. Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Brock Bowers,
Ladd, Brian Thomas.
Thomas.
Generational draft class.
Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Legette,
Worthy
Ladd
might be
McConkey.
The biggest disappointment out of all those names you just said.
Keon Coleman, Jalen Polk. I mean, it was a really good draft class.
It was. I'm saying like I would take Janty over maybe half of those guys, and he is the best in 2025.
Yeah,
and he's a Cowboy.
So if you are having people think like, oh, these 2024 rookies are amazing, I need to get into this 2025 class, I would sell your picks for as much as you can. Like obviously there's some good running backs, there's a couple good other players, but
okay. Counterpoint. My in 8-8, my current running backs are Samaje Perine, Javonte Williams, and Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, keep those.
So I think I'm going to keep my draft picks.
Sounds like that's a couple year rebuild to me.
And then my receivers are better. Puka, Worthy, Leggett. That's really it.
Well, that's what I'm like after.
And Brandon Ayuk, but he's on the IR.
After Janty, all the other running backs are like pretty similar. So the ones that you get in the second round are going to be pretty similar to the ones that you get in the first round. So even trading back would be a good idea, I think. Trading back to the second and then picking up more capital, or if someone's like, "Hey, I'll give you a 2026 pick for your 109 or whatever," I would do that. I would try to parlay into the next year or try to get something of value, especially right now before everyone knows how bad this draft class is.
All right. Well, there you go.
Hate to sound like a doomer, but got to warn people.
You give this draft class a doom and not a boom.
D for doom.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into some coaching news. I think the big one is Cowboys and Mike McCarthy. What was the headline? Mutually agree to part ways. In other words, Jerry didn't want to pay him what he wanted. So the Cowboys are going to have a new head coach, and the rumors are swirling. I believe the current betting favorite, which I just find laughable, is Dion.
Yes,
because that's not happening.
That's what America wants.
It's not happening.
Imagine that, like the drama would be generational.
It would be.
Gonna make it happen.
Here's the problem.
We need it to happen.
Dion has an $8 million buyout.
So?
And Jerry is as cheap gets.
No,
and
that's
Jerry,
why he saved on not paying Cooper Rush. He was saving that money to pay Dion.
Jerry on principle is not going to pay money for the right to pay a coach. That's not how he works. And so
he's going to make Mexico do it.
If I were you, I would put the money on like a Kellen Moore.
To be someone like that. Coach?
Yes.
Kellen Moore.
Jerry does what is familiar and comfortable.
Yeah, that seems like a massive leap for Kellen, who's an okay offensive coordinator.
I'm not saying it's a good hire. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that would suck.
You know me. I'm not saying Jerry's going to make the right decision. That's just what he's going to do.
I want to look at the odds.
Dion is like, I think, minus 250 or something. Which is kind of crazy.
A lot of people are losing their money.
You've got it.
Moore's plus 325. Ben Johnson's plus 350. Cliff Kingsbury's plus 500. John Gruden plus 700.
I would actually welcome that. I think that would be funny.
He's just
I don't think it's going to be Dion. Maybe it will. Maybe he'll surprise me. I will go on record now. I guess I don't have to do it now. I can wait until it's official. If it is Dion, it is going to be a massive, massive failure.
Yeah.
Like catastrophically bad.
Well, if it's Dion, that probably means Dak's gone. Because he's not going to just come into the league and be like, okay, I'm going to coach against my son, who's probably going to be maybe on the Giants, maybe on someone else's team. No, I think it's going to be a package deal where he brings in his kids somehow.
That'd be wild. Like, that's like straight up nepotism.
Well,
yeah, Jerry Jones has never
Can
done
you get
that.
sued for that though?
Do you know what Dak's dead cap number is?
Is it Russell Wilson range?
Well, he just got a new deal.
Yeah.
So his dead cap is 152 million.
Holy crap.
So Dak will be the quarterback. Thankfully. I don't really know how the dead cap works if they were to like trade him or something, but I don't really see that happening. I'm going to pose this question to you guys.
Ooh.
Because you guys aren't Cowboys fans.
Nope.
And I'm like still kind of a Cowboys fan.
Pay attention.
Does it matter to you who the Cowboys hire as their next head coach? Does it change? Like, would any hire change your expectations for them over the next few years?
Well, yeah, if they hired Ben Johnson, just went out of the ballpark and like actually made the right move, paid the man what he needed. Like they can make Ben Johnson.
What's their ceiling with Ben Johnson?
Head coaches. No, what?
What is their ceiling with Ben Johnson? I do not like how you were using the S sound just now. That
probably not Super Bowl, just because I think Dak's getting paid too much, and I don't think he's quite the guy who can get you over the hump. You know, like maybe Ben can work some magic because he's an offensive genius, but I still don't want to just put my money on it that it's going to be a Super Bowl or bust like any other Cowboys fan would.
Okay.
I mean, let's be realistic, though. Ben Johnson's not going there.
Yeah, that's why I said that would actually change my mind on or affect how the Cowboys would do. But anybody else, no. I don't think
he's probably had 4 or 5 offers to be a head coach at this point. He's not going to work for Jerry Jones. Like, that's just simply not going to happen. I think the best thing that the Cowboys could do is hire someone like Joe Brady with the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
He's run that offense pretty well. I think they definitely need someone on the offense. I don't think they need like Dion or like Doug P. I hope that they don't go with like a veteran coach because it makes like Jerry
Pete
Jones.
Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick was on.
We're gonna bring stability to the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what Pete Carroll does.
Yeah, I don't think Pete Carroll would be a guy to work with Jerry Jones, to be honest. I don't think Pete would jive with Jerry.
I feel like he jives with anybody, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think Jerry, at the same point, Jerry wouldn't like his free spiritness. He'd think he's a hippie or something. Like, come on, boy, get the team together.
But yeah, I don't think that. I think the best you can hope for is, honestly,
like you said, Joe Brady.
If I was a Cowboys fan, the next coach that I would want would be the worst option possible, like Cliff Kingsbury or something. Because then you could officially tank. Dak would be old. You get out of his contract, just start over. Because at this point, like I don't see them contending with a team like the Eagles ever. They just don't have enough pieces. They haven't been good enough at drafting in the last 2 years, and they pay a lot of money to the wrong people, and the culture there is not good. No one's going to want to come play, especially what they did to Cooper Rush. Like, that just epitomizes what they are as a team. So I think you just kind of hope for the worst outcome.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think the problem with that, though, is that assuming health, if you have a core of Dak and CD on offense, and if you have Micah Parsons on defense, please no.
Genty is a Cowboy, dude.
I know. I believe me. I know he's like you can.
I don't even think it'd be that bad. I really don't think it'd be that bad.
Alex. Please, why do you do this to me, man?
I mean, Genty, CD, Dak, you guys have a decent offensive line.
Wow, Genty raises their ceiling from
Zeke
11 wins to 11 wins.
Zeke had a good rookie year, man. If you get that with Dak, healthy Dak next year, add another receiver, something could happen.
But you know who they could have drafted instead of Zeke?
Who? Oh, JJ?
Jalen Ramsey.
No, Ramsey sucks. He had a couple.
Ramsey was a much better pick than Zeke.
Yeah, but he's almost said something. Nope. I don't like Jalen. Yeah.
No, I don't like Jalen Ramsey either. But I also don't like taking running backs. And
yeah, I know.
The first half of the first round.
Aren't you guys like a top 10 pick too?
12.
Still be a reach.
12th pick. But you look at any mock draft and it has Ashton Genty. It's like it's what's going to happen. I just know
he would be the best player on the board.
Would not be the most impactful.
I mean, you guys didn't have a running back last year,
and that hurt. That definitely
would
hurt.
It have mattered?
No, because Dak got hurt. But
if they had drafted
hypothetically stayed healthy, yeah, it would have mattered.
Like if you had imagined they drafted someone like Bucky Irving.
Ooh.
I feel like, it would have made a little bit of a difference. Like maybe they could have gotten into the playoffs over the Packers or something.
Oh, totally. But, Bucky Irving went, I think, one pick before the pick that they traded to San Francisco for Trey Lance.
Classic.
I don't know why they didn't just play him the whole season.
But you know what? They don't have to worry about, they're not going to even have to worry about trying to find a late round running back in the 4th round this year because they traded their 4th round pick to Carolina for Jonathan Mingo.
Worst trade of the year.
So
actually the worst trade of the year.
You know what? I've changed my tune. They should take Genty in the 1st round because what you would do is you would take a running back in the 3rd or 4th round, but they just throw those picks away like they're candy for these reclamation projects. So maybe they have to take Genty in the 1st if they want a running back. So maybe I think I'm on board now. Let's do it.
There you go.
Didn't Amari Cooper go for a 6th round pick?
A 5th.
And yeah.
He went for a 5th, and then 2 years later, Cleveland traded him to Buffalo for a 4th.
No, I'm talking about in this season, Cooper went from the Browns to the Buffalo.
For a better pick than what the Browns gave up to Dallas for Cooper 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd either have Amari Cooper or Jonathan Mingo. 5th best receiver on the team now.
All right. We can move on. My take on the Cowboys is I don't really think it matters who Jerry hires as the head coach. I don't think it's going to be Dion. I think if it is Dion, it will be a colossal failure. It'll just be Matt Eberflus in Chicago levels bad. It just is. It's not going to go well. Or Matt Rule in Carolina. It just is going to be.
Urban Meyer in Jacksonville.
Urban Meyer in Jacksonville, sure. Pick whatever failure you want. Just spin the wheel. Other coaching news. Mike Vrabel is the new head coach of the New England Patriots in a move that I think surprised absolutely nobody. I like the move for New England. I think he's a solid coach. I think he was the best coach on the market. The best proven coach.
Okay.
You could make a case for Ben Johnson. But he just fits. I mean, he's a New England guy. He fits that organization. He's going to be so much better than Gerard Mayo.
Mayo is an awful hire, and it almost feels like they did it.
He's a
did it on purpose.
Gap year coach. Sadly,
what did the Texans do before they hired DeMeco Ryans?
Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith. Yeah.
He wasn't in that last game. They got them CJ Stroud
on purpose.
Yeah.
from a fantasy perspective, I don't really like this hire for New England. And
really? Oh, fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I think this kind of hurts Drake May a little bit.
Ooh.
They're gonna run the ball.
Yeah. I mean, he even said like his first
Ramondre fans are
his
excited.
first podcast. I think they're gonna draft somebody. His first podcast.
So
they might get Janty. Who knows?
Ooh.
But
they're taking Travis Hunter.
Nice.
They're taking Travis Hunter, dude. They need receivers
I think
and they need
talking in the
defensive
second
backs.
round.
I don't know if he'll be there though.
They might get him in the second round if the Cowboys don't take him.
Genty?
Yeah, I mean, if the Cowboys don't take him, I think Genty's dropping down at least late first round,
going
right?
in the first
round. No,
he's going top 15.
Like mid. What's like the highest you think he'll go? 20s
or the lowest?
No, highest pick. Not the lowest.
He's going top.
The lowest would be like 1, 2, 3. The highest.
Okay, so we're saying the same thing. I mean, I think lowest is like furthest from the top of the draft.
See, I think lowest.
You think lowest is like lowest
pretty
number?
Low number. Yeah.
Okay, so we're so we're saying the same thing. Okay. He could go to a lot of places.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a beast.
He could go to Washington at 27. He could go to Minnesota at 24.
He's not making that far. I really don't think so.
He's not making it past Denver at 20 because they need a running back. And Denver's not that far from Boise. I could see it.
Their field orange.
Blue and orange already.
Yeah. It's an uglier orange, though.
Prettier blue. All right. And then Ben Johnson, there's a lot of rumors that the interest between him and the Raiders is very much real. There's no back channel tampering, anything like that going on. It's just your good old fashioned interest.
Tom Brady isn't involved at all. Scheming up plays.
I think all the Tom Brady stuff is ridiculous, and I would like for it to stop.
Go on a rant, man.
What do you mean? What is ridiculous?
I think it's insane that he is a part owner of a team, and he is influential in hiring that next team's head coach and making personnel decisions, and he's also a broadcaster. And I think it's ridiculous that he is getting to have these like backroom conversations with Ben Johnson because he's preparing to broadcast their game this weekend. And so he's getting this special time with Ben Johnson while also, hey man, I think the Raiders would be a really good fit for you. I think you just scream black and silver. Like, you come on down, come to Vegas. Like, let me tell you about our vision. Like, I think that's insane. And I think it's crazy.
That doesn't happen already.
Does it happen with broadcasters, Rosie?
Who cares?
Do NFL owners get to be in production meetings?
Why would no? But they do meet with players and coaches.
But it's
just
not
anything special.
It is special. It's never happened before.
But
we've never had an owner of a team be a broadcaster. No, be a broadcaster.
Who cares?
It's insane. He gets to understand game plans for these games for teams, and he's an owner.
You don't think other owners understand what's going on?
I mean, coaches everybody knows what's going on.
No, okay, but Jerry Jones doesn't get to sit.
Okay, yeah, Jerry's a special case. He's just
Jerry has probably been 10 times more involved.
Okay, Arthur Blank doesn't get to sit in a production meeting for a Saints Buccaneers game.
He had a say in the Michael Penix pick.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's not what I'm saying.
You don't think he ever met with the coach before they hired him?
No. Okay. All right. So we're misunderstanding each other. I'm saying that this is the first time where an owner has gotten special privileges because he's also a broadcaster. So he's had special opportunities in meetings and conversations that owners are not privy to because of his job as a broadcaster. It would be like if Arthur Blank was calling football games and got to be in production meetings with Dennis Allen for the Saints back when he was the coach there. Like, that would not be allowed. You think Dennis Allen wouldn't disclose anything to him because he's an owner of another team.
So Ben Johnson had an interview with the Raiders. Is that tampering because it's still in the season? Like, is that not allowed?
No, it's
the only place that this matters, for your point, Andrew, is with Fox, and they paid him so much money, and now they have to watch him not do his job.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Other than that, it doesn't really matter. All the other coaches and owners are doing the same exact thing. They're having the same exact meetings. They're having the same exact coercion going on. It's just not in a production meeting. Who cares?
But the thing is that it is different because it's not in a production meeting. It's not a part.
I don't see why that matters.
Because it's like the rules apply to everyone except for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
What rules were there against a production meeting?
He is supposed to have very specific rules where he's not allowed to be in these production meetings. He's not allowed to criticize officiating. He's not allowed to criticize other players or other teams or other coaches because of his role as an owner. He's not allowed to do any of those things.
Yes. Wait, so
but they don't enforce it.
Stupid. You can't criticize officiating.
What's that?
He's not allowed to have a production meeting anyway. So
yeah, then why is he talking to Ben Johnson outside of whatever a formal interview is?
Because they're friends. I don't know.
They're not friends.
They just like talking ball, dude.
Yeah, two ballers,
ball heads, man. Come on.
I think the reason why I have a problem with it. I think the reason why I have a problem with it is because if Ben Johnson ends up taking the job with the Raiders, you're never going to be able to say for certain that the Raiders got an unfair advantage of luring Ben Johnson there because of Tom Brady's role as the head broadcaster for Fox. You'll never be able to say for certain that did not play a part in Ben Johnson taking that job, which is then giving the Raiders an unfair leg up over every other team who's trying to get Ben Johnson.
Okay, everyone has different people on their staff. You think that is overshadowing the fact that the Raiders
name another part owner who is a broadcaster.
It doesn't matter. I don't think of Tom Brady as the great NFL broadcaster. Oh my gosh. I think of him as the greatest player of all time. I'm pretty sure that's a bigger sway to Ben Johnson than him talking about football on Sundays.
Yeah. And the Raiders need this sway because it's not like Ben Johnson's going to be walking into a great situation. Like, their QB is Aiden O'Connell right now. And we already talked about the situation with the QBs in the draft class this year. So it's not like it's going to be an easy 1-2 year fix. It's going to be a process.
They don't have a super high pick either. As a Lions fan, if you want to move on from this crazy Tom Brady talk, Andrew, I can give you special insight into what Ben Johnson is thinking.
Ooh.
Oh.
I can guarantee you he will not be a head coach unless the Lions win a Super Bowl. This year, anyway.
He comes back if they lose?
Yeah. If they lose the Super Bowl or on their way to the Super Bowl, he will be coming back to Detroit. He is way too comfortable. He loves coaching under Dan Campbell.
Cap.
They're paying him an incredible amount of money as an offensive coordinator.
No.
And he's waiting for...
He's ready to find his own team, man.
He's waiting for the perfect situation.
He doesn't want to become Eric Bieniemy. Eric waited too long, and now he's out of football.
He didn't wait too long. He just was bad.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think... I mean, it's been 3 years now since he's been getting head coaching candidates or recommendations.
Well, I think the Bieniemy thing's a special thing because the Bieniemy thing is the fact that everyone looks like an offensive genius when they're with Andy Reid.
That's very true.
We could do that.
But what so let's just hypothetically, if the Lions do win the Super Bowl and he does try to go somewhere, he's going to want as much control as possible. He's going to want a 6, 7, 8 year contract. And he's
going to get paid.
Yeah, he wants to get paid, and he wants to make sure that even if the team has to go into a rebuild, it's not going to be like Gerard Mayo coaching out there. Like, I only have a year. If it goes really poorly, then I get fired. He doesn't want that. He wants complete protection for probably like 6 years, and he wants a guarantee. So that could be the Raiders. I think that's probably for what he's wanting, that's the best situation.
Okay. We can move on because we've been podcasting for 40 minutes and we haven't even gotten to like the bulk of the episode.
Possible?
I will just I'll say this and we can move on.
You want the last word?
Well, no, if you want to respond to it, you can. This is a free flowing podcast.
I'm being silenced.
Yeah. If I don't like what you say, I'll just cut it. It's fine. I have the final say. Listeners, if this podcast feels choppy, just ignore all of that. We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah. Like watching 480p.
Yeah. Rosie's internet router is a potato, and so
yeah, not a great one to watch.
I just want Tom Brady to choose between being a broadcaster or being an owner. I don't like that he's both. It just feels wrong to me. That's all. Go ahead.
Him and Jerry Jones should be a head coach. They should be head coaches of their team.
Jerry probably will be the next head coach. He's like, well, my grandpappy always said that if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get down on that sideline. I'm going to get my clipboard. I'm going to get my headset. And I'm going to say, Dakota, here's the play you're going to run.
Dakota? Listen now.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the teams that lost in the wild card round, and then let's preview the divisional round. We'll just go in order of when the games were played. So the Chargers, they lost to the Houston Texans. First game of the weekend.
Never bet on the Chargers, folks, in the playoffs. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Justin Herbert did not have himself a good day.
Social media quarterback. When is he going to do something big when it matters? Like when I needed him to do it on Saturday.
You think Justin Herbert is like, okay, so you think like all like the Justin Herbert defenders on Twitter, like they're like the little kid in that scene from The Incredibles and then Justin Herbert's like, what are you waiting for? And they're like, I don't know, something amazing, I guess. And he's just like, me too, kid. Me too.
Goes back to his office.
That's
job.
how I felt. That's literally how I felt watching the game on Saturday.
It was bad. Like I'm not gonna give up on Herbert because I think it would be hypocritical of me because I've had to go on these very airwaves and defend Dak after bad playoff games. So it would not be fair for me to just call Herbert a bomb after a bad game, but it was a really bad game.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Minus the times when he threw it to Ladd. Ladd's going to be. He's Wes Welker 2.0, Julian Edelman. He's the next white guy. That's just amazing at route running and amazing at catch, like solid hands.
I'll tell you, between him and Scatterbo for Arizona State, like, kind of looking up.
Draft Scatterbo.
Like,
get them both on the team.
Thinking J.K. Dobbins lost me $4,000.
40.
No, 4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
still though,
leg, and he was the last one. Ridiculous, man.
As Alex said, never bet on the Chargers in the postseason.
Yeah. I hope they punt him into the bay.
Lock that in.
Yeah. As far as where they go from here, I think they need to get at least one more wide receiver. Like, I love Ladd McConkey. He is amazing, but you got to have more than him. You just do. Like, so Herbert had 14 completions. 9 of them were to Ladd McConkey. So Ladd McConkey had 9 catches, 197 yards, and a touchdown. All other pass catchers caught
those bums.
5 passes for, hold on, doing math here on the fly. 45 yards.
Right?
Those weren't their only targets either. There were a lot of drops.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Oh yeah, Quentin Johnston was targeted 5 times and had 0 catches for 0 yards.
They should just draft 2 receivers.
Tyler Warren there.
They need all the receivers.
Get Tyler Warren, get Scattaboo.
Shoot,
and your whole offense is just Herbert, McConkey, Scattaboo, and Warren.
Love it.
Wow. That'd be something. What they need though, they need a burner. Like they need a guy who's a legit threat on the outside, takes the top off of defense. Isaiah Bond, yeah. Someone, honestly, you know who I would love for them? He's not necessarily a burner, but I know that it seems unlikely that Cincinnati pays him. Yeah. Can you imagine T. Higgins in this offense?
Oh my god.
That's what I was just thinking. Couldn't think of his name.
That'd be nuts. I do also wonder with the Chargers, and then if you guys have any final thoughts, and then we can move on to the next team. I think this team on offense will always have a limitation because their coordinator is Greg Roman. And I think that's what you saw in Baltimore before they moved on from him and went to Monken. But they need another pass catcher. But I also think if they truly want to take that next step and become a legitimate contender in the AFC and a stacked AFC, you got to have a better offensive game plan and play caller than what you have with Roman. But that's probably not something that they address this offseason.
No.
I think he's been better than I thought he was going to be. I lost a bet. I said that Chargers weren't going to get 11 wins. Ridiculous. But he was a lot better than I thought he was going to be. It's just, I don't think his passing game is super unique or creative. And maybe that's just because of what he's working with. He only has Ladd. But, I guess we'll see. Even in Baltimore, I didn't think his passing game was great.
Yeah, well, because it wasn't. I mean, I saw someone mention this was like earlier in the year, but there was a play where the Chargers had Justin Herbert, and then they had 8 guys blocking and 2 guys running routes, and it was a pass play.
Yeah,
that's not going to cut it. Yeah. That's not going to cut it.
That just sounds disgusting.
I know they called Joe All a weapon, but
yeah, exactly. All right, the Steelers. What do y'all make of all the Mike Tomlin discussion? Is there going to be any change, or is it just going to be the Steelers and they're gonna run it back?
No, there's not going to be any change, but there needs to be change. This constant just cycle of starting off really hot, playing a real contender once you're like 10-2 to start the season, and then just losing the next like 6-7 games and falling out in the wild card round is. I know from being somewhat on or looking at Pittsburgh Twitter that they are tired of it and they want him out. At least the true Pittsburgh diehards. At least that's what I'm getting from what I'm reading.
He reminds me of a little coach named Marvin Lewis. Great with the Bengals.
Win a Super Bowl though.
They took him to the playoffs every single year. Was not great for the franchise. Probably should have been fired a while ago. And you could say like, okay, well, he didn't have a quarterback to work with. Same with Tomlin. He doesn't have a quarterback to work with. Andy Dalton and Russell Wilson are basically the same guy, like good, not great at this point. But at some point, it's just time for a change. And in this good coaching cycle of Ben Johnson, Joe Brady, Aaron Glenn, Brian Flores. Let's get one of those guys.
Yeah, I think the issue with Tomlin is I think he's a really good coach, but I think he needs like a good coordinator. He needs a good offensive coordinator. He needs a good defensive coordinator. Like I don't think his philosophy, like in between the lines, is enough anymore. Because he's a great leader of men. Like the fact that he was able to keep that locker room intact when it was Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell, like he should be a 3-time Nobel Peace Prize winner. He should. But
Mason
I don't.
Rudolph too.
Yeah. But I don't think that's enough, right? Like you got to have a schematic advantage as well. And the Steelers have not had a schematic advantage since Big Ben was in his prime. And their schematic advantage was Big Ben was really freaking good. And they had Antonio Brown and they had Le'Veon Bell. Which that whole era of the Steelers feels like it was 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
You know, I know it was like 10 years ago, but it feels like it was 20. And I know the Steelers' whole thing is like they've had 3 head coaches in 60 years or something. But you think about all the things that have happened in the NFL since the last time Tomlin won a playoff game. It's insane. Like Doug Peterson was hired as a head coach in Philadelphia, won a Super Bowl, got fired, got hired by Jacksonville, and then has now been fired by Jacksonville.
Wow.
Maybe he got hold on. Maybe he got hired before. Maybe he got hired in Philadelphia before that. But I know at least
I don't think so.
I know at least he won a Super Bowl, got fired, got hired, and got fired again since the last time that Tomlin won a playoff game. Which is like insane. Rosie, what's your prediction? Is he the head coach there next year?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It's a mistake. I think you're exactly right with his issue with hiring coordinators. Like Canada was a complete mistake, but not only was it a complete mistake, it was a mistake when they announced that they were going to hire him. Everyone knew how it was going to go. That's how it went. And then he made the same mistake with hiring Arthur Smith to run a nonsense offense that doesn't work in the 2020s. It just doesn't. And he's going to keep doing that until he gets fired.
Where do y'all think Tomlin ranks right now among NFL head coaches? Like if we were doing a head coach draft of like you're starting a team from scratch and you can pick any current head coach. So that's what 27, 28 guys to choose from. Like how many guys do you pick before you get to Tomlin? 10, 12?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 15? I think 10 or 12 is about right.
There's a lot of bad coaches out there.
All right, let's see.
There's not many good ones.
Let's see here. Let's go down the list. What is this list? Is it? Oh, it's in order of the team name. I was like, why is Raheem Morris first? Okay, got it. Let's go career winning percentage. Here we go. It freaking blows my mind that Nick Sirianni is first on this list.
I'll take Tomlin.
Let's go playoff wins. This is a better way to sort it. Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Okay. John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean Payton.
No.
I wouldn't know.
Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I gave you both Harbaughs already, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Zach Taylor.
No.
Who's that?
That's the
Cincinnati
Bengals.
Bengals.
Oh. No, I'd take Tomlin.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You would take Dan Quinn over Tomlin.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking. Okay.
Why did you ask Rosie that twice? Like he's not a Lions.
I'm stupid. I don't know.
Dan Quinn, not Dan Campbell.
Oh, geez.
Washington Commanders. Is the answer still the same for Dan Quinn?
Yes.
Yeah, because I like Dan. Dan Quinn won me a Super Bowl.
Nick Sirianni.
No. He's an idiot.
No, definitely not.
Okay. Matt LaFleur.
Yes.
D'Amico.
This is probably the closest one to a toss-up, but yeah, I'd lean Matt.
D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah.
I'm taking Ryan. He's pretty much
8.
Tomlin 2.0. Like they're the same coach.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I think I would.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would too.
Yeah, it's another 50-50 one.
So that's 10. Kevin Stefanski.
Nah.
No, probably not.
Todd Bowles.
No, he's an idiot.
I didn't like him before, but as we were talking about like the coordinator talk, he has been on fire with his coordinator hires. Yeah, so I would hire him. Yes.
Okay, so he can hire coordinators.
Split vote for Todd Bowles.
Part of the job, man.
Split vote for Todd Bowles.
Yeah, but he's a terrible coach. Well, we'll get to the Bucks.
Brian Daboll.
No,
God.
I don't understand what he's doing. I think he's a good coach, but no, he hasn't shown it.
Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
What's funny is on Wikipedia, the picture they have of Kevin O'Connell is when he was
14
with the Redskins.
He was coaching.
He was like an assistant. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's 11. Mike MacDonald.
Yes. My guy. Mikey Mac.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he was good this year.
Split vote for him.
10-7 most wins as a Seahawks coach in the first year.
Mike McDaniel.
I would, yeah.
I don't think
McDaniel. I'm out on Mike McDaniel. He's an idiot.
I don't like that he's stuck with Tua, but
Shane Steichen.
No.
Raheem Morris.
No.
Jonathan Gannon. Oh wait, what's your answer on Raheem Morris?
He's Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with him. Yeah.
Really?
Okay, so split vote on Raheem Morris. Jonathan Gannon.
No.
Yes.
Split vote on. Okay. Dave Canales.
Yes.
Okay. And Brian Callahan.
Who's Brian?
He's Tennessee.
No.
Okay. So that's 12 definitive yeses with 4 split votes. So that tells me that at best he's the 13th best coach. In the NFL.
You're welcome.
Just above average.
There. Have fun with misery.
So the Broncos, we can make this quick. I don't have any notes on them. I think the future looks bright. They weren't supposed to win that game.
Bo
Nix looks good.
They had a good first drive. That was their whole game.
They'll always have that first drive of being up 7-0.
I'm calling them to fall apart next year.
Yeah.
I think that.
I hope you're right.
Bo Nix is comparable to CJ Stroud for me.
Bo Nix is the check down king. If he has to throw it over 15
he has
yards,
an arm.
you're
He
screwed.
has been good. I don't want to pretend like he hasn't been good. But I think there's a
He's been all right. He's been good for a rookie, but you saw once they figure out the little scheme with the rookie, he can't adjust.
I agree.
Okay. The Packers. Alex, I think you might like this reference.
Mm-hmm.
I think they remind me of the Trae Young Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah. With Jordan Love, yes.
With Jordan Love.
Playoff team. They have spurts in the regular season, and then they're injured, yada yada, and then they just sort of lay an egg.
Because you watch Jordan Love and you watch Trae Young, and you're like, man, both these guys are really talented. They do some things really well, but why am I just always kind of wanting more from them?
Yeah.
Like more consistently. I want to see them kind of take the next step. And then just like the Atlanta Hawks, you look at the two rosters and you're like, man, I go up and down this roster and it's all guys I like. It's DeAndre Hunter, it's Clint Capella, it's Dyson Daniels. And it's like, man, this like, and then you look at on the Packers and it's like, okay, you got Christian Watson, you got Jaden Reed, you got Romeo Dobbs. It's like, oh my gosh, Tucker Kraft. Like they have all these pass catchers. And you're like, yeah, why are they not better? Like
well, hold on. All those pass catchers were injured for this. Well, Christian Watson.
Just Watson.
They had an injury problem. They have somewhat of an excuse for why they sort of fizzled out.
That's why they lost this game, but the reason why they've looked so bad in the last 7 or 8 weeks is because Jordan Love isn't playing well, and
Matt not Toyotathon.
Duh. Or what was his name? LaFleur?
Yeah,
that's true. He has turned this team into a running team. I think he's trying to copy the Lions. They're like, oh yeah, we got Josh Jacobs. We'll just run the ball all the time. And that just makes the passing game lazy. I feel like the same thing happened with the Texans, and the Texans won. So I can't be too judgmental about it. But I don't think that they're as good as they were last year because they're not letting their quarterback, who's making a lot of money, be a quarterback.
Yeah. I just, the Packers seem like a team where I feel like they should be a lot better than they are. And I think it's like, I don't know.
Do you blame the coach at that point?
I blame I don't want to blame it all on the coaching because I do feel like a lot of it's the players where it's like, I feel like Jaden Reed should be a lot better than he is. I feel like Romeo Dobbs should be a lot better than he is. I feel like Jordan Love should be a lot better than he is. Maybe that is coaching, but at some point it's like, when am I going to see you actually like progress and develop? Because like the Packers have been touting this, youngest roster in the NFL for 2 years now. And it's like, yeah, they blew out the Cowboys last year. Good for you. You beat a Cowboys team in the playoffs. That's like the easiest thing to do in professional sports. And I feel like that kind of like inflated this team. And then we saw them go up against an actual good team in the Eagles. And you're like, oh, so this is what the 7-seed Packers looks like to the other 31 teams in the NFL, or 30 teams in the NFL. I don't know. I don't know who gets the bigger piece of the blame pie, but the Packers just seem like a team that should be a lot better than they are. And maybe I'm overreacting to them losing as a 7 seed because that's what 7 seeds are supposed to do. But then that comes back to my point of like, well, why are you the 7 seed in the first place?
Exactly.
Keeping it in division, the Vikings,
what the heck, man?
On a human level, I feel bad for Sam Darnold. I really do.
Turned back into a pumpkin, just like his hair.
Gosh, kick a man while he's down, Alex.
Well, I mean, I wanted him to beat the Rams. I didn't want the Rams to win. And it wasn't even entertaining. I turned the game off before the halftime was over. I was just upset. Yeah, I was ready for an entertaining 4-quarter game. Didn't get that.
No.
I think this is the best thing that could have happened to the Vikings, to be honest.
Well, now they have to go play in the snow in Philadelphia.
No, the Vikings.
Oh, yikes. Okay. Why?
They're not going to pay Sam Darnold a crap ton of money and then shelve J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. The most they'll do is franchise tag him for 1 more year if they don't think J.J. is.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, probably not.
So where does Darnold go next year?
Browns.
Yeah. Giants, maybe, if they don't draft a QB.
Wait, so is that the
Saints? No.
Is that the new Sam Darnold arc?
Raiders.
He goes to a team who drafts a quarterback, and then that quarterback gets hurt, and so he plays 1 year, and then he goes on to another team.
Tyrod Taylor, yeah.
He's going to go to the Browns, and then the Browns are going to draft Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to like tear his ACL in the preseason. It's like, oh, it's Sam Darnold's season. And then I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that you should be relying on Sam Darnold for anything. Like, he played a lot better than I thought that he was going to. You got to give him some credit. Like, he can compete in this league, but it's obvious that the Rams, I know the Lions beat the Vikings when they first played, but it was a pretty close game. The Rams first unlocked the code on Sam Darnold and that offense, and then Lions and Rams did it again. I don't know why no other team tried to do what the Lions and Rams did, but once Sam Darnold was figured out, there was no going back after that. And honestly, kind of the same with the Brian Flores defense. Once that was figured out, there was no going back. Like, they have some great pieces on the team, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, and I do feel like that's a bit of an indictment on Kevin O'Connell, because it seemed like in the games where Darnold spiraled, which is like the last 2 games, there weren't any adjustments. Like, I would have thought that in the second half that they would have gone a lot more like quick throws, easy completions, to where, hey, the Rams are going to be pressuring Darnold. He's going to be feeling it right away. So like, let's maybe not call so many plays where these routes are like long developing routes where Darnold needs to kind of wait to see what he has, and let's give him some like easy slants, some easy outs, some digs, things like that. And we didn't really see that.
I think that was a part of the game against the Rams. It wasn't against the Lions. They did not adjust at all. But against the Rams, there were open slants. There were open freaking bubble screens, and Darnold would turn it down for no reason.
Yeah.
He was just completely. If you want to blame KOC for this last game, I would say that even if they're down by a lot, he should have been running the ball, because they were having a little bit of success. And Aaron Jones is obviously an explosive player, and Darnold did not look good. Like, just hand the ball off and just hope for the best.
That is the thing that like I really like about Troy Aikman, is it's like the Creed quote from The Office. Like, he don't give an F about nothing.
He doesn't.
Like, if he's
his eyes.
If he's disappointed in the quarterback play he's seeing, you're gonna know about it. He's not afraid of hurt feelings, of bruised egos, anything like that. And like, there were so many times in that broadcast where he was like, he's holding on to, like, I don't understand why he's holding on to the ball like he is.
What is he doing?
Like, you have to get the ball out. You have to get, like, if you don't see it, throw it away. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
valid.
He's one of the few broadcasters that will do that. And I appreciate that, because it feels like we're just like having a conversation and watching the game. And he's like, this knucklehead won't throw the ball away, but he's like doing it on the broadcast. And I don't know. I respect that. It's not like Tom Brady, who's, just surface level across the board, never get any analysis.
I sort of like Tom Brady as a broadcaster.
Come on, man.
What?
I have enjoyed Tom Brady as a broadcaster.
He's been pretty good.
I thought he hasn't tried to do anything. He hasn't even tried to do anything.
Insight.
Because he's not trying to be like Romo.
Last game, I think that there was one.
The anti-Romo. Romo went too hard, too quick. And
I don't care about that, but I want to know what he has seen and how he would be playing.
Well, he said
as the greatest quarterback of all time. But he's
like,
"Oh man, that was a great play." The running back, he went to the left, and that ended up working out, and just great play call, great execution. Wow. And it's like, okay, come on, give me a little bit more than that, Tommy boy. Like, come on,
I feel
man.
like I think you just hate Tom Brady.
You're a hater.
He's not been good this year. I cannot believe I'm in the minority here.
I was never a fan of Greg Olsen, so here we are.
Really? Wow.
I thought
Greg Olsen.
Greg was annoying.
I think Greg Olsen is like leaps and bounds better than Tom.
Greg
Brady.
Olsen also hates the Seahawks, so it's a little bit
okay. There it is.
There it is. Every announcer hates your team. That's like fan 101.
There's actually some beef because we took Greg Olsen at the latter part of his career and didn't really use him right.
Okay. Let's get into the divisional round, shall we?
What? We're missing one losing team.
Yeah, the Bucks.
Oh crap! You're right.
They're simple defense. Practice your tackling angles because there were guys all around those dudes, and they got so many yards after the catch. That's 100% why the Bucks lost the game. That's really all I got.
Best game of the day.
Best game of the weekend.
Fun.
It was so good. It was a game where I was like, I really don't want either of these teams to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I really wanted to be like, man, could we just like swap out, like in this case, the Bucks lost, and it was just like, man, could we just like swap the Bucks out for whoever? Like, it just can we swap them out for the Texans? I know it's a different conference.
Well, the Texans balled out on defense.
Yeah, but who do you want to see this weekend? The Texans or the Bucks?
Baker's just too much fun, man.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
It was a really good game.
And my boy Bobby Wagner. Happy to see him still balling.
He's doing really well.
Yeah. We'll talk about the Commanders more when we preview the divisional round. But whatever you thought the best case scenario was for Jaden Daniels going into this season.
That dude is different.
Just throw out that book and start from scratch.
He sort of reminds me of Lamar, but he has a better just overall passing game.
I didn't think that he would be good.
Yeah, I didn't. Me neither, really.
My comp for him, though, was RG3. And he looks a lot. I mean, probably
he's
even better than.
Yeah, just an overall passer and knows how to take care of his body, too. He doesn't take as many hits as RG3 did.
Yeah, he's extremely accurate. Way more accurate than I thought he would be. And he reads the defense pretty well.
Yeah, and his scramble game is elite. You can't guard it.
Yeah, he's a step below Lamar Jackson, probably.
All right. Anything else on the Bucks? That was not intentional to forget them.
Just wish they had a better defense.
Yeah, they got really hurt, and even in the game, they lost Jamel Dean and.
Yeah, they lost both of their corners at one point.
Yeah, that's just tough when you're playing against someone like Jaden Daniels, and you have guys that aren't disciplined enough out there.
Yeah,
I think they can be. I think the Bucks are.
They could have beaten anybody.
Keep all the pieces together and just have a really good draft class, because I feel like they haven't been drafting super well, especially on defense. Like Jalen McMillan was a great pick. I love that pick too. I just hope that this next draft class will be better for them, because then I think that they could take another step forward and be like an actual Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, they should invest heavily in the defense this time around.
Yeah. All right, divisional round.
Woo.
So we're going to go in order of the TV slate. So first up, Saturday afternoon, Texans at Chiefs. Kansas City is favored by 8, and the over-under is 41.5. And Alex let me know ahead of time that he had some thoughts on the Chiefs. So look, I don't. That's all I know. I'm just going to turn it over to my friend Alexander. Go ahead.
I just think, as a general American public, that we all need to come together and root for the Chiefs' downfall. We don't need another 3-year dynasty Patriots repeat crap. This team is 15-2, sure, whatever. They haven't scored 30 points in a game, man. Like, this is getting ridiculous. Someone needs to step up and just beat this team for America. And I think as a podcast, we should all rally around the Texans who aren't going to do it, let's be honest. And then just whoever's next. But we have to do it together, guys. We can't be like, whoa, it's the Chiefs, it's Mahomes. No. None of that. Someone's got to take these guys down because they're good, but they're not good. They're just not fun to watch. It annoys me.
Rosie, you go ahead. Because
I just wanted to echo that because they aren't fun to watch. Like that was what I was thinking when you were going on that rant. They're not a fun team to watch. Mahomes, he has a couple good plays, but
always seems like the refs are on their side too.
Yeah, that too.
No, get it. Okay.
Oh, come on.
It's just true.
The ref stuff is so obnoxious.
No, it isn't.
It is. It is. It's
there
like
have been a lot of really weird calls that have gone their way this season.
Right at the turning point of games too. Like it swings the whole game.
Sure, but I think you could find examples for any team, both sides.
I'm just tired of their luck, dude. That's what it is.
That's fine. That's fine. My response to that is that I think we all just need to prepare ourselves for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl because that's what's going to happen.
Come on, Josh.
They're going to beat the Texans. And then they're going and it's like this game's not going to be hard. You can go ahead and chalk it up as a win. And it's going to get to the point to where they're basically going to get tested and have to win one game at home in Arrowhead against either the Bills or the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. And they're going to go to the Super Bowl and they're going to play whoever comes out of the NFC. It's either going to be an injury-riddled Lions team or it's going to be an Eagles team that just I don't know what to make of them. And they're going to win. And it's going to be a three-peat. I don't
think so.
Like once as soon as you accept it, as soon as you accept it, like the sooner you can just kind of come to peace with it. It's what's going to happen.
See, that's why I'm on the. We need to not accept it and just go the extreme other way until it happens.
Your spirit to make them lose.
Yeah,
I hate to see them say this because I feel like the Texans are a good team.
Their defense impressed me a lot,
man. I can't see how they win.
Well, they have to pretty much the same thing they did against the Chargers is shut them down completely until their offense can put together
Mahomes
a couple
is not
good
throwing
drives.
4 picks.
Ooh, have you seen Mahomes play this year?
He hasn't done that.
He'll never admit this because it's Trent, but his take of Mahomes being Jameis Winston with a headband is like one of just the all-time worst sports takes in terms of how it has aged. Literally, he said that, and then he won back-to-back Super Bowls. Could not have been worse timed.
About that.
He was.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm in the same boat.
Worse though, since Trent said that.
He's only won 2 Super Bowls. Yeah,
but he's been playing
terrible run.
He's been playing worse. He has.
He's won 2 Super Bowls, Rosie. Come on.
Well, he was throwing for 50 touchdowns in a year, and now he's not even close to that.
Yeah, what happened to that guy?
Yeah, that's the Matt Nagy effect. That's what that is.
It's true.
Which is like a more of a testament to him that he's winning Super Bowls with Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
Like put him in the GOAT conversation just off that alone. But we can make our picks here. I think the Chiefs win. They probably don't cover because the Chiefs don't like covering.
Nope.
But they're going to win. And there's like no way they lose this game. I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm not that bold. They'll win, not cover.
Same.
What is hold on, let me pull up against the spread. The Chiefs are they're 8-9 this year against the spread. So they don't cover games.
Is there like some kind of weather going on in Kansas City?
There's weather going on everywhere. It's gonna be cold. Really just anywhere.
It will be cold.
Commanders were getting ready for an outdoor game. this week.
I think we're getting a couple snow games this week.
24 degrees is what it's going to be in Kansas City.
Okay.
All the non-dome hating football fans are going to enjoy this week.
I'll take the over.
It's going to be 26 degrees, but it's going to feel like it's 12.
Oh, that's football weather.
That's pretty cold. All right. You're taking the over 41.5.
Yep.
I will take the over as well. That's a pretty low total.
Chiefs actually their defense is probably the key to the whole team. So, and the Texans, same thing. So I'm going under.
Commanders at Lions Saturday night. Lions are favored by 9.5 at home.
That's a massive spread for a playoff game.
And the over-under is 55.5. So I'm going to go ahead and give my betting advice for this game, and then I want to get into it, and I really want to get Rosie's thoughts. I think you have to decide if you think Washington covers or not. And if you think Washington covers, then you have to take the over. And if you think Detroit covers, you have to take the under. Because I do not see a world where Detroit covers and wins by 10 and it goes over. Because that would just the math. It does not compute to me. Like they win by 10 plus if it's 30 to 21 or something. Or I guess that's not even covering. It'd be have to be 30 to 17, right? Like they're not gonna win this game 42 to 31 or whatever. Like that's not happening, right? That's too many points. So on the flip side, if you think Washington's covering, take the over, because I don't think Washington's covering unless it's a shootout, right? And they either lose 35 to 31 or they win, 31
I don't think it's possible
to 28
for their defense to stop the Lions offense.
Yeah. So 1 to 10, how concerned are you about this matchup?
I would say a 6. I think the Lions match up really well at all positions other than on defense against Jane Daniels. They are notoriously horrible against running quarterbacks, even non-running quarterbacks that just kind of run for a little bit. They're very bad against. And with this defensive line that's been just ravaged by so many injuries, the most injured part of the team is on the defensive line. I don't think that they're going to be able to contain Jaden Daniels, and it's just going to be up to the receivers getting separation from a pretty good secondary, especially these safeties. If Jaden Daniels can play a clean game without throwing any interceptions and he runs for 60, 70 yards, I think they have a shot. Because on the other side, I don't see any way that the Commanders stop the Lions offense. They are not good against the run. They're not great against the pass. Lattimore got absolutely cooked by Mike Evans. He was a worst graded cornerback.
He's not good anymore.
He's playing hurt too. So
yeah,
I think that's something that someone like Jameson Williams can take advantage of with his speed. But they just have too many weapons. These odds are insane. I put this in the chat. I don't know if anyone saw it, but Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown is minus 400.
This, yeah.
Minus 400. David Montgomery's is minus 320. And you go down to the Commanders. Terry is a favorite to get an anytime touchdown at plus 135. Craig Reynolds, their third string running back for the Lions, plus 220. So Vegas thinks that this is going to be an absolute blowout, and I can see it getting there. It's just Jane Daniels is going to have to be Superman to keep this game close.
Have the Commanders been blown out at all this year? They lost. Okay. I'm looking. They lost week 1. They lost week 1 to the Buccaneers 37-20. That was their biggest margin of defeat. Okay. Then they lost to the Ravens 30-23. They lost to the Steelers 28-27. They lost to the Eagles 26-18. They lost to the Cowboys 34-26. So, I mean, they haven't lost by double digits since week 1.
I just took the Commanders plus 10 on the site. So
I think that's the right play. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think maybe, and this is a very real possibility, but Jaden Daniels could have a really bad game. The pressure and the moment could finally get to him. And I'll say it right now. If that happens, my outlook for him moving forward is not going to change one bit. He has already proven and shown so much this year that he is at worst 8th or 9th best quarterback in the NFL already. And he's a rookie. So regardless of how good or how bad he I guess I should say regardless of how bad he plays, it's not going to change my calculus for him moving forward.
And on top of that, Aaron Glenn, he just broke Sam Darnold, completely broke him. He's probably behind Ben Johnson, the top head coaching candidate. And as much as the Lions have been really injured and the defense hasn't played super well all season, they are the only team that has 4 games that they haven't given up a touchdown. So it's definitely possible to get wrecked by this defense.
Alex, what's your thoughts on this game?
I'm riding the Lions until they die. So I think I'm personally confident that they're sort of just going to run away with this. It might be close in the first half, but I think eventually they're just going to outplay them in every position, really. They're just the better team. And it would shock me if they lost this week. I'm putting multiple units on the Giants. Or the Lions, geez.
The Giants.
I will be your sportsbook if you would like to bet on the Lion or the Giants this weekend.
Yeah, give me
I'm here. I'm here for you. All right, picks time. I'm taking Commanders to cover, and I'm taking the over.
I'm going to say Lions win, Commanders cover, under.
Lions cover, under.
Oh, and I will say, I think I'm taking the Commanders to win.
What? What?
I think Jaden Daniels.
The Lions.
To be honest, I'm gonna hate to see it too. I'm rooting for the Lions. Okay, Rosie, I want
Jaden
that
Daniels
to be clear. Okay,
me and
down. You, I'm rooting for the Lions. I want the Lions to win.
Nah, man, you're dead to me.
Jaden Daniels is not that good. Pump your brakes. He's good, but he's not good enough to beat the best, clearly the best team in the NFC by himself. There's no way. On the road, no.
I think it's possible.
I am just possible. I think what I'm trying to do is I don't want to the Lions. Obviously, the Lions had an incredible season. The Lions are really injured, and that scares me.
Really matter.
I know they're getting healthier. I know they're going to get David Montgomery back, which is huge, but the injuries are still insane. The amount of guys that they have
replaced some of the guys, though. They've done well patchwork.
But it's not
the same, but it's still better than most people's.
And my fear is that they broke Sam Darnold, and so that is the last taste we have in our mouths of this Lions defense is them breaking Sam Darnold. And before that game, this Lions defense did not look good down the stretch. And
do you know why though? The biggest injury that they've had in the last quarter of the year was Anzalone being hurt.
That's true. That's true.
He was a huge part. Like, they don't have anyone that can cover. Like, Jack Campbell's very good linebacker, but they were playing with like 6-string players out there because there have been so many injuries at the linebacker position. Anzalone completely like changed that game, changed the whole defense. Like, he's the play caller on defense. So getting him back is extremely important.
Yeah.
I know. So that's a fair point. And like, honestly, the Lions are probably going to win, but I think where I'm at is like, if the Commanders win, I'm not going to be surprised. And the fact that this is the largest spread of the weekend, like, I just don't agree with that. I don't think it should be a 9.5 point spread.
Trap game.
Kinda. Like, I think Jaden Daniels is really freaking good. And I think like the crazy thing is how good he is in the fourth quarter. Like, he plays the way, like, he does not play like a rookie does. He plays like a veteran. And like, if this is a 1 touchdown game in the fourth quarter, like, I'm really nervous for the Lions because I think that Jaden Daniels could absolutely win the game. With all that said, I'm making this very, very clear. I'm rooting for the Lions. I want the Lions to win. I want the Lions to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's like, I have felt that way for weeks now. Like, chips are all in on the Lions. That's who I want. I want my friend Rosie to be happy. Okay. That's it.
I'm already happy, man. Don't worry about it.
Good.
No,
you should be.
You're not happy enough yet. We need a Super Bowl.
We do. We have
That's
not
happiness, Rosie.
We have not had a host win the Super Bowl.
See?
Like, in the history of this podcast. The best we got the Rangers 2 years ago. And don't get me wrong, that was freaking amazing. And I'm still living off the high of that. Like, we went to, quick aside, I'm gonna make it very quick because we're 90 minutes in and we still have 2 more games to preview. But we went to my in-laws' church for Christmas Eve, and the pastor is a Rangers fan, and he was making some analogy, and he was saying how, like, you had this like incredible joy from the Rangers winning the World Series, but like, now you're like, you've already come down from it, and you're ready for the next one. And like, this season, like this last season was, brutal because they underperformed and missed playoffs, whatever. And like, I leaned over to Becca. I was like, I'm still on the same high. Like, I haven't come down 1 inch from that.
Give it about 10 years.
Like, I've got so much equity built in the Rangers winning the World Series that like, I'm not coming down anytime soon. I'm not.
Honestly, though, as a Mariners fan, if that ever happened, I'd be happy.
Right? Like it. As like, there's like obviously other things that you want to do before you die, but like, as a sports fan, the one thing I wanted before I died was I wanted to see the Rangers win the World Series, like, more than the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, more than seeing another Mavs title, whatever. Like, I wanted to see the Rangers win, and I got that. So I'm like, hey, whatever else happens, like, this is all just gravy. Like, this is a cherry on top, whatever. So I really, 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 really want that for Rosie. I do.
I got
Jaden Daniels just terrifies me. I'm sorry.
I got that same feeling when all I wanted was a playoff win.
Yeah.
I don't really, I want the Lions to win, but I don't care nearly as much as I did last year.
I also want the Lions to win the NFC Championship because then our preseason bets, we will be in the money.
Yes.
So it's all hinging on that.
Got $5 on it.
There you go. Rams at Eagles. Philly's favored by 6. Over under 43.5. I don't really have a lean on this game. I don't really have a good read on it.
I got a great read on it.
Go ahead.
The weather's going to be terrible in Philly. Coldest temperatures in about 2 years. They're expecting snow right when the game starts all the way through. Take the under and take Philly because the Rams are a dome team from LA. Do I need to say anything else?
Unfortunately, you're exactly right. I think if this game was in LA and it wasn't burnt down,
we're thinking of it, by the way.
Would be close. But Saquon and this offensive line, I don't see how the Rams can compete if it's snowing, or if If the weather's
especially
bad,
if it's heavy.
It's not going to snow, right? It's just going to be cold, right?
No, there's like the game kicks off at 2:30 Philadelphia time, and that's exactly when it supposed to start snowing.
Really?
And I believe there'll be periods of heavy snow.
Hold on. The high's 38, mostly cloudy with a bit of snow and rain at times in the afternoon.
This is what happens when you read or trust Twitter.
So it might rain, it might snow, but like it's going to be 38, and the real feel's only 34.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't know what my Twitter guy was doing then.
Is this on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday at like 2:00.
Okay. I think the Rams have it. I really think that if the weather's really bad, Saquon will completely take over. I don't know how when you can't have a passing game attack, Eagles have Jalen Hurts and Saquon. Those two, and probably the best offensive line in the league. I don't know how you stop that when the weather's bad. But if Jalen Hurts has to pass and Stafford has a chance to be a gunslinger like he was against the Vikings, I might take the Rams to cover.
I'll say this. I think my lean on this game, I know, I was saying how scared I am of Jaden Daniels. I think one of the NFC games is going to be an upset. I don't think it's going to be Philly and Detroit in the NFC Championship. I think it's either going to be, I don't think both games will be an upset. So I think if Detroit survives Washington, then all in on the Rams. I understand it's in Philly. I understand the weather will be a little chilly, but I think it's also like in the playoffs, it's Stafford and McVay versus Sirianni and Hurts.
Huge advantage.
And I know Hurts played incredible in that Super Bowl 2 years ago. So he has played good. He has played good in the playoffs. But I'm going off of like what we saw last week and what we've seen this season. Like McVay Stafford, based off what we saw against Minnesota, versus Sirianni Hurts, is like the nitrogen bomb versus like coughing baby. Like it just, I know the Eagles more talented, but I think I like the Rams in this game. I think. I don't know.
It's just the Eagles. I would say that they have the best defense in the league right now.
But the Rams defense is good too.
Their defensive line is counterpoint that very good.
The Eagles, offensive line, which I'm so jealous of.
I don't know if the Rams match up well against the Eagles. Like, Rams defensive line is incredible,
but they're young.
And they're playing up against veterans. The Eagles offensive line who
know what to do.
Destroyed the Packers last week. Like the Packers couldn't get any pressure on Jalen Hurts. And maybe McVay could like come up with a game plan and Stafford could, have a great game because Puka's amazing, Kyron Williams is amazing, and their offensive line is put together, but odds definitely should be on the Eagles because they, top to bottom, much better team.
You're right.
Agreed.
You're right. I think as far as looking at the spread, so Philly's favored by 6.
Seems about right.
I think either Philly blows out the Rams or the Rams win outright. Like, I don't think the Rams cover and not win. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You don't think they'll keep it within close and just somehow still lose? Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah. You trust Stafford more. Yeah, exactly.
All right, quick picks, and then let's do Ravens Bills and get out of here.
I'm going to take the Eagles to cover. The Lions' destiny feels like they're going to play the Eagles after they beat the Commanders are the last team that, other than last year. But before last year, the Commanders smoked them in 1993 and in 1991. So,
well, if you thought I was rooting hard for the Lions now.
No, you're rooting for Jaden Daniels, dude.
I am not. I am not. I resent that.
Nah.
You're an LSU fan.
I don't even get why you're that scared. He was good, but he wasn't like,
All right, man. All right, sure.
Patrick Mahomes 2.0 or anything.
But if you think I'm rooting for the Lions now, play the Eagles. Oh boy.
No one wants a Chiefs Eagles.
I'm gonna be walking down the street looking at kneecaps to bite off. Like
the Lions are my Spain, man. I'm ready to get paid.
Ravens at Bills, best game of the weekend.
Yes.
Could not be more excited for this.
Sunday night, right? Or is it Sunday afternoon?
Sunday at 5.
Okay.
I think 5:30 maybe.
Good.
Baltimore's favored by 1 on the road. And the over-under is 51.
Really, Baltimore's favored? Wow.
That's what I got written down. Hold on, let me check. Look at the latest line. Yeah, Baltimore favored by 1.
What is Vegas now?
I don't care who wins this game. I just want it to be electric.
Yeah. Live up to the billing.
That's all I want.
48-45, please.
I don't really have a prediction for this game either.
Me, yeah,
they feel so evenly matched. Like their defense, good.
This is the AFC Championship. Well, I guess we got the Chiefs. No, it's the AFC Championship game. Whoever wins this game is going to beat the Chiefs, no problem. If the Chiefs even beat the Texans, I mean,
this is the Arrowhead Invitational.
Yeah. Who gets to go to Kansas City? Good barbecue.
I'm so excited.
Who do you guys have as your MVP?
Josh Allen. He won the division.
So did Baltimore.
No, they didn't. Wait, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Football are drifting apart.
I think probably Josh Allen, but I think it's one of those races where it's like you could pick either of them and you're not wrong. You know, they were both
kind of sums up this game too, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think my biggest gripe is I think the narratives coming out of this game are going to be really gross either way. And I'm just not looking forward to that. There's going to be some nasty things said about either Lamar or Josh Allen if they lose this game. And it's not deserving because both of these guys are awesome. And both of these teams are awesome. And it's this is the way, this is like Commanders Bucks in round 1 was the first Pokemon. And this is the third evolution Pokemon where it's both these teams are so good and fun to watch. And it's I don't want one of these teams to lose and be out of the playoffs, but one of them has to lose and be out of the playoffs. Cause that's just the way it goes. And that's just where we're at.
Josh Allen and Lamar and Jane Daniels are so similar too.
That's what I'm saying. It's the Pokemon evolution.
That's right.
Yeah.
Charizard. This is the Charizard game.
This is the Charizard game. This is Bills and Ravens. I choose you. You're going to be creme de la creme this weekend. And I cannot wait. I don't really want to pick a winner. I just want to say, can we get the over?
I'll pick the Bills and the over.
I'm going to take the Bills and the under. That's just a lot of points. I don't know.
For the sake, I don't want this podcast to be a clean sweep. I'll say the Ravens. Shout out Justin Matabuke.
Hey.
Former McKinney North Bulldog. Tearing it up on that Ravens D-line.
It's Nnamdi Matabuke now.
Nnamdi Matabuke, that's right.
Did he get married?
No, he's going by his
some Nigerian
African name.
Thing.
Yeah. Super nice guy. We were both in Palace together, and he was a monster in high school. Like, it was insane. But all right, boys. We've gone an hour and 45. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
For all those podcasts I missed.
You are. I appreciate
2025. It. Here we are. Trumping office next week. Are we gonna buy Greenland, guys?
Can we get an NFL game in Greenland next year?
Ooh,
expansion team.
I mean, you could probably fit the whole country in the stadium.
Could probably get a UFL team there.
All right, the dad joke this week. I got a book, kind of like Trent, but I think it's a different book. So pick a page number between 1 and 319.
Is this a new book?
It is
127.
Wait, what? No, 1.
1?
Yeah, I want to know what the first one is.
So you want the first joke on page 1?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
New year.
The first one.
I guess it's actually technically page 5 because of like the,
yeah,
table of contents. Things like
read
that.
page 1.
Page 1. It's literally just the title.
Dude,
all right.
First joke.
What do you call a person who is happy on a Monday? Retired. I used to work at a calendar factory, but I got fired for taking a couple days off.
Yeah.
I will here. I'll share this one because I highlighted this one. I actually shared it on the podcast I did this weekend with Becca. So if you listen to that episode, you've already heard this one, but I just think this joke is amazing. If I can find it, hold on. I need to like thumb down the page. I put a star by it, but let's see here. There's like some of these jokes are like really long, but that's okay. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can. Maybe. Oh, here it is. Okay. 2 old guys were sitting under a tree watching the sun goes down. One says, I'm 84. My body is full of aches and pains. You're about my age. How do you feel? The other guy says, oh, I feel like a newborn baby. Really? Asked the first guy. Yep. No teeth, no hair, and I think I just wet my pants.
Yeah. Old joke.
I like that one. All right. Enjoy the football, everyone, this weekend. We didn't even talk about the national championship that's going to be going on Monday night between Ohio State and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But we got the divisional round.
Teams.
Yeah, I do too. We got the divisional round Saturday and Sunday. We got national championship Monday. This is going to be a great weekend of football. One can hope, right? Let's get some close games. Let's get some thrillers. Let's get some excitement, and let's get our boy Rosie a Lions W. So enjoy the football.
Go Lions.
Thank you, of course, to Rosie and Alex for hopping on this week. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, whether it's on live on the YouTube, video podcast on Spotify, audio, everywhere else. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy all the football. We will be back next week, breaking down all the action from the divisional round, previewing the conference championships in the NFL season. And I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week. We will see you next time.
Boom.
Yay.
That was fun, boys. That was good.
Yeah, it was.